to our homestead kitchen. Yeah, this is a new one, isn't it? So, every Thanksgiving, one of the pies that is traditionally cooked is pumpkin pie. And typically people go buy canned pumpkin from the store, which may not be pumpkin. Sometimes it's squash or something different. But here at the homestead, we always use fresh pumpkin. Well, as fresh as we can get it. I grow pumpkins in my garden every year. I give some of them away to my grandkids shortly before Halloween. And I have some that I keep strictly for pies. And so today we are going to prepare this pumpkin, and we're going to show you how you use pumpkin like this to make a homemade pumpkin pie. And I can just tell you that the pumpkin pie made out of real fresh pumpkin, or I picked this in October. It's been in storage. It's as fresh as I can keep it in the area where I live. It just makes a world of difference in the pies. Pies can't be beat. It's the best pumpkin pie I've ever tasted, and I'm sure if you ever try it, you'll agree. First thing you have to do is you have to cut the pumpkin in half. You have to cut the pumpkin in half and clean it out. So when you prepare this pumpkin, we're going to just cook it on a cookie sheet with some parchment paper in the bottom. But before we do that, we have to clean the pumpkin out and prepare it for baking. So I'm going to cut it in half. I'm going to scoop out all this stuff in here, and I'll probably save the seeds. We can cook those too. Now you might ask, how long do we have to cook this? Well, you have to cook it till it's soft. There's the rest of the pumpkin. Now, as you can see, I've got the pumpkins on a cookie sheet. My oven is turned to 300 degrees, and we're just going to put these pumpkins inside the oven like this, and we're going to let them bake. I'll start checking them at about 35 to 40 minutes to see if they're soft. Okay, I've just pulled this pumpkin out of the oven. I had a correction. It needed to be 350 degrees, and it's probably been in for an hour and a half, at least an hour at 350. So you can tell that it's soft, really soft. It's hot, just pulled off on me. So we're going to let it sit and cool for a while, and then we'll get the stuff out of it that we're going to use for our Thanksgiving pumpkin pie. Yeah, I've scooped the pulp from the pumpkin that we're going to use for our pumpkin pie. Alright, so I've got everything ready to start mixing my pumpkin pie together. I'm going to put it in this pan here. I've got the oven preheating to 350. I'm going to put everything in the blender. Okay, so my ingredients is 2 cups of the pumpkin pulp, puree, I don't know what it's called, stuff from the pumpkin. I've got 3/4 cup of brown sugar. This is probably about a half a teaspoon of cinnamon. Well, that's not cinnamon. That's ground cloves. That was a fourth a teaspoon of ground cloves. Teaspoon of cinnamon. We got a half a teaspoon of salt. And a half teaspoon of ginger. Okay, let's make sure those are all in there. Then I'm going to add 2 eggs and a can of evaporated milk. Crack my eggs first into a bowl to make sure I don't have any shells. There's the 2 eggs, evaporated milk. And this will make a regular sized pumpkin pie. And I'm going to go ahead and blend. Let it settle a little bit. All right. Go ahead and pour it into my pie plate here. It's pretty cool. Show you what it looks like. There you go. Now the next step is to put it in the oven at 350 for 45 minutes and then test it. You could do the toothpick test on it. I'm going to go ahead and wait for the oven to preheat on up to 350, and then we'll put this pumpkin pie into the oven and take it out 45 minutes later. Hopefully it turns out delicious. Okay, there it is in the oven. I put some aluminum foil underneath it because I got it kind of maybe a little too full. Just leave it in there for 45 minutes. Check it in a little while. Okay, so I think the pie's done. I'm going to go ahead and take it out. I actually had to leave it in 25 minutes longer than what I anticipated. So an hour and 10 minutes is what it's been in the oven. So there's the pie. Looks done. So I'm just going to let it cool. I did poke it with a toothpick here a couple times just to make sure that it was done. Looks delicious. Smells even better. Well, that's it for this Homestead Kitchen edition of cooking pumpkin pie. And remember, the pumpkin in this pie is real pumpkin, came out of our garden. Picked it in October, it's been in storage. That's what really makes these pumpkin pies delicious. So, better than the stuff you buy out of the can and pour into them. So that's it for our pumpkin pie recipe here in the Homestead Kitchen. Thanks for watching, and see you soon.